So we've got the libraries that we need imported, and we want to let's go ahead and start reading in the data. Let's go ahead and read in the XML from the game that we've chosen. Now, if I pop back over here, I'm going to notice something right away. If you look at the at-bats, so you've got the structure again is you've got inning, top of the inning, the first batter, and then the pitch is thrown to that batter. Now you notice in the pitches, so if I go down to the next pitch, the batter is not designated. We know that these pitches belong to this batter. The batter itself is just given as a number. So we know that we're going to want to print out a richer output than just 592621. And it turns out that that data, if we go backwards from here, is in the players.xml. So there's our players. Now this turns out to be the entire team, the active rosters when this game started. So we're going to read in this whole file. And now we don't want all of this. We don't want the bat right and hits right, their average. We don't need all that for the charting, the pitch charting that we're going to do. So we're just going to read them in, and we're going to create a dictionary. So to do that, we'll need the URL of that player's feed. So we'll scrape this whole thing, copy it. Now we're going to come over, and again, let's keep commenting. And let's say this is the pull players into a dictionary. And again, we'll change that. If we run that right now, you'll see that it's just text. It's just a comment. But if we go back, select it, and turn it into Markdown code and run it, it becomes a rich title for that cell. So within that cell, we're going to say URL equals, and then inside our double quotes, you can use double or single quotes, we'll put the XML. So that's where we're going to get the data. And we'll say response, and again, this is our URL call. Response equals requests, plural, .get URL. So we're going to pull in that data from that file. And let's go ahead and say print. And again, we'll do the colored here. Colored response, the RSP variable, and we'll print that in blue. Now again, one of the cool things about notebooks is I've done enough already to run that cell. And when I run it, I get errors, and it says requests is not defined. And it's because I spelled it wrong. So what I'm going to do, I'm not going to edit these things out. I want to show you, as we go, how you work in a real notebook. And this is just real world stuff. If I say, if I fix my typo there and run the cell again, it runs as sequence 16, and it says response 200. So I've got it. Now we're going to do this all through. We're going to go just far enough. I'm going to keep running code. And again, that's one of the advantages. I don't recompile, entire applications. I just run code and see if I'm getting what I want. So at that point, I think I'm pretty good. And what we'll do here too, and this is, just another kind of Python notebook, or really a Python language trick. I'm going to say XML file equals myplayers.xml. And what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to say with open that XML file in the mode write binary, so WB. So this is just a file operation, an OS level operation, as F. And notice it indents f.write resp.content. So what am I doing here? What I'm doing is I'm saying I want a new file. I want to name it myplayers.xml. And with that title, I want to open a new file, and I want to write resp, which was my response.content. So I'm going to write the content that I pulled in from the web, and I'm going to write it locally. And that's what you'll see when we go back to our home page and we go back to the main menu, that's myplayers.xml. So I've run this code before, and after I pulled it in from the web, I made myself a local copy. So that's really all that does, but that's kind of handy if you want to go through it or if you want to send that file to a different application.